Hey everyone, today on People Now, world leaders react to news of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's health crisis. We have details.
We'll show you how Eminem is celebrating 12 years of sobriety.
Also,
You keep calling me in the morning.
Laura Marano has a new single and she tells us what she's most proud of with the song and her Marvel movie binge fest in isolation.
Alan Eisenberg and Mike Castle tell us about their new show, Bruise Brothers. And of course, we talk about beer.
And we're looking back at 30 years of People's Beautiful issue as we ramp up to unveil this year's cover star.
That and more all today on People Now. Let's go.
What's up, guys? Welcome to People Now. Good to see you. I'm Jeremy Parsons here in New York. Andrea, I know that you've been busy on the farm. The videos of your puppies or your aunt's puppies are making me so happy. And my little girls watch them now they want a dog. Thank you.
I mean, no, the puppies are growing so fast. They're now in a little bit of a bitey phase. We don't want to talk about it. But no, they're really cute. They're honestly going to be full-on doggos by the end of this. They're amazing. They're running around. They're super playful.
When I watch the video, I feel like I can smell the puppies. I know that's weird, but that little fresh puppy smell is so adorable. And even when they're little biters and nipping at your fingers and stuff, they're still so cute at that phase.
No, they're adorable. They're at the perfect age right now. I could talk about puppies all day, but we have a lot to get to today, starting off on a serious note.
Government officials in the U.S., South Korea, and China are conflicted this week over whether North Korea's dictator Kim Jong-un has been having a health crisis, though some news outlets reported that Kim's condition was critical after a recent surgery. A U.S. official even told CNN that North Korea's leader is in, quote, grave danger after undergoing a cardiovascular procedure earlier this month.
According to CNN, questions about his health started on April 15th when he failed to appear at celebrations for the birthday of his grandfather, Kim Il-sung. Former CIA Deputy Division Chief for North Korea, Bruce Klingner, told CNN that health problems would explain that absence from what is the country's most important holiday.
Klingner explained, quote, there have been a number of recent rumors about Kim's health tied to his smoking, his heart, and his brain. If Kim is hospitalized, it would explain why he wasn't present. But he did add, quote, over the years, there have been a number of false health rumors about Kim Jong-un or his father. We'll have to wait and see. That was the quote.
According to CNN, Kim Jong-un was last seen on state media on April 11th. Reuters has reported that, according to unnamed sources who spoke with the online newspaper Daily NK, smoking and obesity contributed to the dictator's declining health, which prompted the procedure on April 12th. It is still unclear what exactly the procedure was.
North Korea is infamously closed off from other countries, and information about its society and government and about Kim in particular is difficult to verify, hence the reports that continue to swirl about his condition. An anonymous U.S. government source told Reuters that any credible direct reporting having to do with Kim would be unlikely to leak to the media. According to the Associated Press, a spokesman for South Korea's president said that no unusual developments have been detected inside North Korea.
A Chinese government source speaking anonymously to Reuters disputed CNN's reporting, while a spokesman for Japan's government told Reuters they are regularly gathering and analyzing information about North Korea with great concern. U.S. National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien confirmed to Fox News on Tuesday that the U.S. is monitoring these reports very closely. All right, now moving on to this.
George Stephanopoulos has decided to sign up for a clinical trial to donate his plasma after he tested positive for COVID-19. He shared the news on Good Morning America Tuesday. Take a listen.
Last week, I signed up for one of those clinical trials for recovered COVID patients to donate blood plasma as part of to see how that could help with treatment going into the future. That process began last week, and I also took one of those tests that shows I developed the antibodies to fight off the virus. So I've cleared the virus now. I'm fully recovered, and I hope to complete that blood plasma donation soon.
Yeah, it's great that George has recovered from the virus. Now, earlier last week, George had announced that he had tested positive for the virus after his wife, Ali Wentworth, had previously tested positive, but was on the mend.
George was asymptomatic, but Ali had a high fever and severe body aches. During an appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live last week, Ali urged viewers with COVID-19 to direct message her on Instagram if they had the virus, were scared, and wanted any pointers. And she added that talking to people who had COVID-19 was really helpful when she was first diagnosed.
All right, switching gears now. Eminem has something to celebrate this week as he marks 12 years of sobriety. He honored the milestone by posting a picture of his Alcoholics Anonymous coin to Instagram.
The coin is stamped with the traditional AA triangle and reads recovery, unity, and service. Eminem captioned the photo, "Clean dozen in the books, I'm not afraid." This is the third year in a row he has marked his sober anniversary with a photo of his token.
In the past, the rapper has battled an addiction to pills like methadone, Vicodin, Valium, and Ambien. He suffered a near-death experience in 2007 after an accidental methadone overdose. His addiction escalated to the point where he was taking up to 20 pills a day.
In a 2010 interview with the New York Times, he revealed that he used to get pills from wherever he could, explaining, quote, "I was just taking anything that anybody was giving to me."
Ultimately, Eminem credits his 3 daughters for his recovery. He told the New York Times in 2010, "I love them so much and they've helped me through so many things," adding that those hardships helped him grow as a person and that his, quote, "overall look on things is a lot more mature than it used to be."
Queen Elizabeth is celebrating her 94th birthday on Tuesday while in lockdown due to the coronavirus pandemic. She's spending it privately at Windsor Castle, where she is isolating alongside her husband, Prince Philip.
The monarch's birthday is usually celebrated with army cannons being fired in some of the royal parks in central London, but she's requested that there be no special gun salutes this year. It's thought that it's the first time in her 68-year reign that the salutes have not taken place.
The Queen's official birthday celebration of Trooping the Colour in June has also been canceled, and there are no current plans for any alternative way to mark her birthday.
While the Queen and Philip have been isolating, they have been in touch with their children and their grandchildren via video calls. Prince William told the BBC that the video calls have been a really good way of keeping in touch and seeing each other, and we can assume that they'll probably have some big birthday celebration group video chat, which I hope we get a little peek of.
I imagine they will. And in other royal news, Meghan Markle's legal team filed new papers on Monday morning in her case against a British newspaper. So in case you need a refresher here, Meghan is suing Publishers Associated Newspapers and the Mail on Sunday for publishing extracts of what she describes as a private and confidential letter that she sent to her father, Thomas Markle, 3 months after her wedding to Prince Harry.
The Mail on Sunday says that Thomas revealed the contents of the letter after a friend had told People of its existence. Meghan's new statement says she did not authorize her friends to speak to People. The legal papers add that if she had authorized the interviews, she would have told her friends not to talk about the letter and its contents.
The new legal papers also outline the extent to which she and Harry messaged and called Thomas after he fell ill days before their wedding. The papers reveal Meghan messaged him, "I've called and texted, but haven't heard back from you, so hoping you're okay." The papers say that Meghan tried to protect her father from heightened press intrusion and scrutiny.
The papers also reveal that Harry texted and called Thomas days before the wedding after Thomas decided not to attend. Harry wrote in part, quote, "If you love Meg and want to make it right, please call me, as there are 2 other options which don't involve you having to speak to the media. Meg and I are not angry. We just need to speak to you." That was his quote.
And for more insight into Meghan and Harry's royal exit, tune into the CW on Wednesday, April 22nd at 8 p.m. Eastern for People Presents Harry and Meghan, A Royal Rebellion. It's a 2-hour documentary special event. All right, switching gears now to a People magazine milestone. This year marks the 30th anniversary of our Beautiful issue. We can't reveal this year's cover star just yet, but we can take you on a trip down memory lane, looking back at 30 years of celebrating beauty inside and out.
The issue debuted in 1990 with cover star Michelle Pfeiffer. Look at that cover. She was named one of the world's most beautiful celebrities, and she told People that it was something of a shock. She said this, quote, "It's the way my mouth sort of curls up or my nose tilts up," which is always bizarre when you hear what, everyone's got their hang up, and it's interesting to hear hers.
Yeah, it is. Michelle landed the cover again in 1999, saying, "I did nothing beauty-wise. People were horrified by how I treated my skin." So she's beautiful. She's also humble. I mean, I'm a huge Michelle Pfeiffer fan, so I love hearing from her. Jeremy, pop quiz here. Who landed the cover, not once, not twice, but 5 times?
Julia Roberts.
No. Actually, no, yeah, you are right. You're so smart, Jeremy. Yes, it's the pretty woman herself, Julia Roberts. She covered our Beautiful issue in 1991, 2000, 2005, 2010, and 2017. But Julia isn't the only Hall of Famer. Halle Berry, who nabbed her own cover in 2003, has been featured in the pages of People's Beautiful issue 19 times over the years. So it's what's on the inside that counts, and that includes the magazine.
Yeah, that's some serious bragging rights. And Jennifer Lopez, she's right behind her. She covered the 2011 issue and appeared within the Beautiful issue 17 different times. Some famous men have even made it to the cover of the Beautiful issue. Mel Gibson in 1996, Tom Cruise in 1997, and Leonardo DiCaprio in 1998.
Leonardo DiCaprio, real big shocker there. And in 2015, Laverne Cox was the first transgender woman to be featured on People's Most Beautiful list, making history. We love to see it. And one of my favorite parts every year is the section that features celebs embracing a more natural look, the no makeup section. You have Gabrielle Union, Vanessa Hudgens, Brooke Shields, Minka Kelly, and Rebecca Romaine. They've all been featured there.
All right, so who do you think is going to grace the cover for the 2020 issue? You can tweet us your answers, your thoughts, your guesses. Use the hashtag #PeopleNow. Come back here Wednesday. We're going to have all the details on this year's cover story. All right, stay with us. Laura Marano shares the unexpected way she is staying sane while in self-isolation. Plus, we're staying home with Glenn Powell. He's showing us how to make a little art project. You can stick around for that. Today's story to make you smile is a little bittersweet, but we want to celebrate one woman who is showing us what it's really like on the healthcare front lines.
Faces of the Front Lines is a passion project by emergency room nurse Adeline Egan, who's taking portraits and sharing stories of her coworkers at the front line of the coronavirus pandemic at New York Presbyterian Hospital. We talked with her about the project, and she shared how it all began. Take a look.
This whole idea was kind of born out of just a desire to connect my coworkers to the love and pride of their family members and friends at home who right now they have to be physically distant from. We have actually, I think, become closer than ever as a family in the ER, and it's been really amazing to see people show up to work, not only for their patients, but for coworkers. A lot of us are experiencing a lot of emotions as we navigate all this, and it's been really important to have coworkers who are people we can lean on, people that we share a unique experience with, and people who get what this is all about. It's been really, important to have coworkers step up as family for one another. I would love to shout out to all of my coworkers. I think, you hear about nurses and doctors all the time, but what I really want to uplift is the entire front line, which includes our environmental service staff and our unit clerks and our techs. There are so many people that are part of this operation, and they're all making the same sacrifices of putting their own health aside and distancing from their families and continuing to show up when it's scary or when they've experienced losses related to coronavirus. I have so much admiration for all of my coworkers and their bravery.
The project has gotten a warm reception online, with many people leaving comments praising her work. She shared with us her thoughts on all of the positive reactions. Take a listen.
It's been so awesome. It's all coming together to support the vision I originally had, which was to support connecting my colleagues with the love and pride I know already exists for them at home with through their friends and through their family. So it's been really awesome. Just a couple days ago, I photographed one of our nurses who is pregnant with her second daughter, and it was really meaningful for her to be able to include her belly in the photo. She really wanted to share that photo with her daughter someday in the future, to be able to show that her daughter had been with her and had been part of this historical time. And she actually shot me a text yesterday also saying, thank you just so much for capturing this, because I actually haven't been able to see my mom yet looking pregnant. So moments like that really bring it home for me.
Nurse Egan takes great photos, but at the heart of it, she's a hero who's fighting coronavirus on the front lines. Take a listen to how she's been holding up amid it all.
I mean, absolutely, it's been challenging. I think if you ask me today versus 3 weeks ago, I think my reflection today is that it's starting to really set in that we're in it for the long haul, and the data is showing that in order for things to be effective, we're going to really have to bunker down and accept that this will be a challenge for a bit longer, which is also, I think, how I'm seeing this project evolve. You can see through the stories that at first it's a lot of kind of more scrambled thought processes. People don't have clear, or they haven't had time to really break down what they're experiencing yet. And now we're starting to see people who are realizing the ways that it's affecting them more long term.
She also shared with us the lessons she's learned throughout this entire experience.
This whole experience has reminded me that we really just need to prioritize and value and treasure people. I look at a lot of my patients, and they're people who were healthy yesterday and are not healthy now, and are facing some really scary and unpredictable, decisions and times in the hospital. So I think, being on the front lines, I see that in a really real way, that, we're all people and we could be healthy today and not tomorrow. And it's really renewed in me a sense of humility and a sense of really wanting to value people and love them and treasure them while we have them.
Fighting the pandemic is a hard job, and Nurse Egan shared with us what her one daily feel-good habit is. Take a listen.
I've made a point actually to walk to work. I live only like 30 minutes away from the hospital, so I have been walking. I leave my apartment around like 6:30, and I walk up and I get to the neighborhood of the hospital right around 7 when the New York 7 o'clock cheer has been going on, and that has been like the greatest source of fuel. That is awesome. I've had people really, like runners, stop in their tracks and just clap for me as I walk to work in my scrubs. So that has been absolutely, nourishing for all of us as we walk in to feel that our community is in it with us, and despite the fact they can't be physically near, they're absolutely there with us and cheering us on and honoring the whole experience that we're going through.
Yeah, more power to her and all the frontline and essential workers that are helping fight this pandemic. For more information, you can check out the photos on her Instagram page. It's at addieegan.photography.
I mean, I don't know about you, but like, I feel like I'm going crazy, and when I feel like I'm going crazy or more tired, I like just get so weird. So I laughed with that question because I'm like, we're really weird. Like, I like do voices and characters. I become a troll. Like, it's fun. We're on.
That was actress and singer Laura Marano sharing with me how she's been trying to stay sane while in self-isolation. In addition to creating characters, she's been watching all of the Marvel movies in order for the first time. She's a big Black Widow fan. She's been cooking more and recording new music. She recently released a new song called When You Wake Up. But before we get to that, she shared with me how her boyfriend Thomas has been supporting her during self-isolation.
He's been super helpful because he does play guitar, and he actually is a music producer and a songwriter. So we've also, been working on music as well, and he's been helping record and write on certain things, which has been really, really incredible and helpful. Music's super awesome because it's different from acting in the way where, acting, you need a whole group of people. You can't like film a movie or a television show by yourself. I mean, I think people are figuring out ways right now. And obviously you can create content by yourself, but the quote unquote kind of acting a scene or anything, it's really tough to do that by yourself. But music, you can. You have the resources, you can write songs, you can record them, you can even now perform them by yourself because of social media and Instagram Live and whatnot. But for me, it's a little daunting to do it all by myself. So having him be a partner with me during this time has been amazing.
Laura is super excited about her new song, When You Wake Up. She says it marks the beginning of a new era. Take a listen.
You keep calling me in the morning, don't know why I'm picking up anyway.
Laura wrote When You Wake Up 3 years ago, and she shared with me why it's one of her favorite songs to date.
The song completely changed my music, like completely. So when I wrote When You Wake Up, I was like, just thrown back a little bit, but like how different I sounded and how different the whole kind of sonic situation was. And I fell in love with it. And I was like, oh, I really need to pursue this sound. And I knew I wanted to release the song. But to be honest, I think in the beginning, there was a lot of kind of like label professional music drama. Like I changed 2 labels. And so that definitely, counted for the delay. But I really was in a place in my life where I wanted to have kind of lighter, more fun music. So, the Me EP, besides Let Me Cry, which is still one of the most emotional songs I've ever recorded and worked on, is definitely has a bit of that lighter flair. It's, really in a way about the whole EP is about falling in love. And the songs were, in a way though, still sonically inspired by When You Wake Up. There's still kind of that minimal aspect. My voice, I loved how I sounded in When You Wake Up, and so I wanted to have a sense of that in the Me EP. So it's in a weird way, When You Wake Up, there was echoes of When You Wake Up through it all. But I knew this next era or chapter of music, I wanted it to be a little bit moodier. I wanted it to have a little bit more vulnerability and make it feel a little bit more emotional. And When You Wake Up is just that song, is that perfect first song to really set my music on this kind of moodier path.
Laura says she initially wrote the song about a frustrating professional relationship, but she says the song now holds a different meaning.
In 2020, for me, I wanted my music to feel moodier because I think I have been feeling a bit moodier, and I have been, having a lot of moments of feeling emotional or really vulnerable and, frustrated with myself and different people. And so this new era of music, I think, really encompasses that aspect. So it's all encompassing on a moody, emotional scale, but the actual emotion feels a little bit different for each of the songs I'm going to release.
Laura's goal is to make music her fans can relate to. We are looking forward to hearing what else she has in store. Everyone, be sure to check out Laura's new song, When You Wake Up. It's out now.
All right, I'm gonna show you how to make a little piece of artwork. So I'm gonna be working with stainless steel, some patina, and a blowtorch to make a Texas flag for my little sister. So let's get started. All right, first, what you're gonna do is you gotta outline Texas flag, very simple. 1 star, red, white, that's it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna match that with patina. First, we're going to trace our Texas star right here. And the good part about this, it can be a little rough around the edges. The more you screw up, the messier it is, almost the better it looks. You get to see sort of the artisan nature of it. The fact that it wasn't made by a machine, it was made by a very flawed artist. Okay, so now you have your star, and what you're gonna do now is you're gonna sand it down, almost like taking the dermis level off of the skin. And so that'll allow the patina to soak in, and when we use the blowtorch to like burn it, it'll allow it to oxidize and change colors more. So you'll see what we're doing in a second. All right, so the next step, we've now sanded it down. As you can see, we've gotten that outer layer done. So now the fun part, we break out the patina and the blowtorch. Light on fire, corrode, and change colors right there. So you can do like that. As you can see, we have our final product. This is our Texas flag. You see those patina burn marks there, some acrylic burn marks, but it's got a lot of character. It looks like old and aged. So that is how you turn a piece of sheet metal into a beautiful Texas flag. God bless Texas.
Wow, super creative. Be sure to catch more of Staying Home with Glenn Powell on PeopleTV. Now we move on to this. Watch.
The hops are timid, and there's a meek earthiness vying for attention.
Detecting a delicate bouquet of pine with notes of citrus. Possibly clementines?
He's good. If the brewmaster remembered that he was making a beer and not a smoothie, might really have something here. Unfortunately, the beer, much like the brewmaster himself, smells like, as he would say, Scheiße. You go ahead and pour that out.
Hello, Adam. Nice to see you, too.
Hi.
Wait, who's this guy? My brother.
Bring it in.
Oh, family.
Bruise Brothers is Netflix's new show that will definitely get you out of the isolation funk. I caught up with the stars of the show, Alan Eisenberg and Mike Castle, to talk about the show and, of course, beer. But things took a serious turn when Alan opened up about his parents, who are currently working on the front lines of the COVID-19 crisis. Let's take a look.
My mom is working on the team that's making the vaccine, and my dad is doing telehealth with COVID patients. Yeah.
Wow. So have you been in constant contact with them? What are some of the stories they've been telling you about being on the front lines right now?
Yeah, I talk to them every day. I mean, they're seeing it. I mean, everything that you see. I think the New York Times did a great piece this weekend of kind of showing what the ERs are looking like. They're super overwhelmed, and the least that we can do is stay home so that hopefully is in the past. And that's kind of the message that they're sending to me is like, please stay home so that we can go back to our normal lives.
Do they seem hopeful?
Yes, totally. I mean, they feel very strong that like this is not 1918 and that we have the ability to get past this. It's just about, flattening the curve and making sure that we're not overwhelming the hospital systems all at once.
We are so appreciative of everything his parents are doing to keep us all safe. Now back to Bruise Brothers. I got the details on everything from how this show is perfect for fans of the league to what famous bar patron could make an appearance in season 2. Watch.
You can expect that sort of like loose feeling, surprising irreverence / surprising like heart and silliness. It's got a lot of nice attributes all going at once that I feel like Jeff and Greg are very good at creating.
Yeah, and I think, much like the league, the show, I think we do a really nice job of making it feel like it's guys hanging out, it's people hanging out. And it doesn't feel like, you're being talked down to. You're kind of just like stepping into the lives of these people who are running a brewery, and it feels very like fun and normal and silly.
Although I would disagree that it doesn't feel, I would say it does feel like you're being talked down to by my character.
Yes, I mean, your character, Adam, is the most pompous person I've ever met.
Yes.
But we all know that guy, though. Like, that guy exists.
Yeah, and he's fine. And actually, he's right. Most of the time, he's right.
See, when you say things like that, people think it's a documentary, man.
That's fine.
Alan, you play a brewery owner, but you actually can't drink beer in real life. So tell us about this, and how did that impact playing your character?
Yeah, 2 days before I got the offer to do the show, got diagnosed with celiac disease. A doctor sat me down and said, if you ever drink beer again, you will die. And then 48 hours later, I got a call from two truly people that I view as icons and heroes. Being like, hey, will you be the lead of our show about beer? And I was like, great, I have bad news for you. It happened really within 48 hours. I mean, the way that it allowed me to really get into the brewing side of it because I couldn't drink it, which I knew a lot about before. I could only focus on like how the beer is made, how it's served, the art form that is brewing beer, and not have the distraction of like maybe being a little tipsy while doing it.
Yeah, were you a big beer drinker before you got diagnosed?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Just going to a brewery, I think much like Greg, so my character is based on Greg, the creator, and he just likes going to breweries and trying different things and talking to people and being friendly. And like, I love doing that. I love the vibe of a brewery. It's just fun and playful, and like, you get a little bit of everything. And to not be able to do that anymore was truly painful. And then to spend 3 months inside of a brewery was terrifying.
Mike, you worked on the show Clipped with George Wendt, arguably America's favorite bar patron from Cheers.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Norman?
About a beer, Norm? Hey, I'm high on life, Coach. Of course, beer is my life.
Would he make an appearance on Bruise Brothers? That would be an amazing kind of crossover.
He must. And he literally texted me the day after it premiered, and he was like, I love this show. And then it was a light bulb where I was like, Norm could be on the show, So if things go the way they should go, I would like Norm, my character to become Norm and for George to just play me.
Well, speaking of cameos, what about J-Lo? Alan, you worked with J-Lo in Second Act when I was looking on your Instagram. Maybe she could come on?
I think it would be great. I think a George Wendt, J-Lo, will they, won't they
yes.
thing. I think that would be perfect for season 2 of Bruce Brothers. I will have to shoot her an email and see if
I
remember.
I feel that's the quote from this interview is J-Lo and George Wendt to replace the brothers.
All right, coming up tomorrow, Lindsay Powers, author of the book You Can't Bleep Up Your Kids, is sharing with me how to be more shameless in our parenting.
Plus, Leslie Bibb's got a new movie, and she's telling us how she and Sam Rockwell are spending their time in isolation, and she was a blast. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and healthy. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.